I used to think the whole art has to have meaning was complete and utter rubbish. I'd see an artist doing some doodles or maybe doing a paint pour, and then they'd say how this was about the human existence and something vague or weird that had absolutely no meaning whatsoever. And I thought, do they really believe this stuff they're saying? Or do they just feel that the art world wants them to make something up to go with what they've just created? And I don't know. I don't know which it was. But you do constantly get people saying, don't just share your art, you need to share the meaning behind it. Well, what if you just painted it because you kind of like blue and yellow together and you think they look cool? Is that enough meaning? And I guess earlier on, my art didn't really have meaning. I just painted things because I felt like painting them. And I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And it just felt wrong to me that as artists we had to over-explain. It felt a bit snobby and pretentious. What did fascinate me was when artists would paint a picture and then notice something in it afterwards. So they might notice there was an aspect about their life or something they were feeling at the time. And then I noticed that about mine. My abstract faces, none of the features are constrained. Everything flows outside the face. And I was doing graphic design at the time that I hated. And everything was about grids, things lining up. So my faces were completely anti that, about being anti-constrained. And then I started wondering, have I just become a bit of a pretentious arse about it? Am I reading too much into it? It reminded me a bit of when I used to blog. Anybody remember the old blogging days? Well, you'd pick a topic and you'd be writing on it, and then I wouldn't really know what my opinion was until I'd finished writing, if that makes sense. It's almost like it took that writing to sort out my thoughts about something. And I'm wondering if art's the same. Does it take making a piece of art to condense your thoughts and the art actually says something about what you were thinking at the time? I don't know. In the last couple of years, I've started to weave meaning into my art. So there's my doubt project, my paint over doubt that you can see up here. And this was where I took anonymous doubts, painted it into my doubt creature and then covered them up with something more positive. And now I'm working on something new called Not My Collector. Each of my paintings is paired with a fake review from a critic like Superficial or Generic. And they might be saying that they don't like abstract art or it wouldn't match their sofa. It's a tongue-in-cheek way of saying who my art isn't for and that I'm not listening to those critics anymore. Every new idea I have at the moment seems to have a concept or a story built in. I don't know if it'll always be like that, but that's how it feels at the moment. I still think it's fine to make art without meaning. I think it's meaning enough that you actually enjoy painting. And of course, the person who's looking at it, they're going to have their own interpretation anyway, aren't they? I remember this singer, do you remember Sia? I remember her saying that she used to get really annoyed with people who'd contact her and they'd say, oh, I love your song because, you know, it's about this and whatever. And she'd think, no, it's not. And she'd get really annoyed that they didn't understand the true meaning of the song. And then she realised that she was being a jerk because it didn't matter what she thought, it mattered what it meant to them. So I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you think? Does art need to have meaning?